You won't believe what happened to this 20-year-old university student. She walked out of her hostel for class and never went back. Days later, her body was found in a forest. But that is not even the most shocking part. Alice Rianga, a bright second-year student studying maths and chemistry education at the Jaramogi Odinga University, full of dreams, full of promise, suddenly vanished. Her phone went dead. Her friends panicked. Her own roommate filed a missing person report. But wait until you hear this. Before that report was even processed, a body matching her description had already been discovered, found by women collecting firewood deep inside a forest in Barkowino, Bondo. And then, plot twist. Police arrested a Tanzanian gold dealer. But why was he with her? What really happened between the time that she left the hostel and the moment that she was found? And here is the question that no one can ignore. Was this a random crime or something far more calculated?
You guys have seen the trending story of the girl who died at Jaramogi Odinga University, Alice Rianga. That's my cousin. May received a call today. Ningia Kasarani. I say I check out her mother. So my mother called me today out of nowhere and tells me, go see Auntie Esther. Alice anaitwa Sabina. Kigusitu kikesi nomita Sabina. She's younger than me. So she don't really talk that much. Miss Kwanogia nae sana. They used to speak to my sister girlies things unaelewa. Now kuna hii video bongalia. So I think this guy nikaa ni chali yake or something. Siwezi kata. They move like a couple or something, sindio? If I'm not wrong, if you've seen the video, this video right here, that screams couple goals. So this guy posted this video a few years ago, saying RIP and all of it, but I don't know this guy. Now let's look at the next picture. This image nimepata yenye nimetuma kutoka huko. Alice alikatwa nywele. It was like a ritual somehow, looking like that. Mekatwa nywele, a ritual. Does not make sense. Like a ritual. I don't know what kind of life maybe she got herself into. We never spoke, something like that. But kwa mse anaangalia vitu, some things make sense to me. Let it make sense to you. And the question is, who is this guy? Salvo guy. Who is this Salvo guy? Bro, I don't know who you are. I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. But who are you? Were you his friend or boyfriend, or who are you? Maybe you were friends, I don't know. That's your life with her when she was alive. His dad name is Richard Rianga. That's my uncle. Mzee alizirai akaingia OC yenye aliconfirm hiyo body leo. So I'll be updating you guys.
Stay with me because the details of this case are going to leave you speechless. And trust me, it only gets darker from here. Today, we are diving deep into the heartbreaking case of Alice Rianga, a second-year student at Jaramogi Odinga University of Science and Technology, known as JOOUST, located in Siaya County. And here is the thing that makes this case particularly disturbing, because the timeline, the suspect, and the circumstances, they don't add up the way you will expect.
Alice Rianga, a second-year student at Jaramogi Odinga University, went missing since last Thursday. Reports indicate that they tried reaching her. The phone was just ringing until it was unanswered, until it turned off. She was later found body dumped inside a forest in Bondo. And we have women in parliament. I wonder, with all these cases that are becoming so rampant, what the fuck are you guys discussing in those spaces if it's not about these cases? Because ideally there's something crazy going on, but nobody's actually talking about this. Even some cases are not even being figured out. People are just walking freely here, psychopaths, and they're mad women, our children, our daughters, our sisters. Like, I'm not even safe anymore.
Let me break down everything we know, step by step and detail by detail. Alice Rianga was more than a headline. She was more than a statistic. She was just a young woman with a passion for education. Alice was living the life thousands of students across Kenya live every single day, walking to campus, attending classes, making plans for the weekend, and nothing about Wednesday seemed unusual. Nothing about her routine suggested danger. And yet, what happened next will turn an ordinary week into a nightmare, because Alice left her hostel room that Wednesday morning, heading to the university main campus, but she never made it back. And then, the silence that followed was deafening. Now, let us establish the timeline, because in cases like these, every hour matters, every detail counts. On Wednesday, Alice Rianga leaves her hostel room. Her destination? The main campus of JOOUST. It's a routine trip, something that she had done countless times before, but she doesn't return. On Thursday, according to reports circulating online and confirmed by multiple sources, Alice was last seen on Thursday. Her phone, which had been active, suddenly became unreachable. Now, think about that for a moment. In today's world, when does a university student's phone go completely silent? When do young people who live on their devices suddenly go dark? Messages go unanswered, and calls went straight to her voicemail. On Friday and Saturday, concern turns to alarm. Her friends are asking questions. Where is Alice? Has anyone seen her? The campus grapevine starts buzzing with worry. On Sunday, this is when things become official. Alice's roommate, Kelia Wanyonyi, files a missing person report. She goes to the authorities and she puts it on record. Alice Rianga is missing. But here is the twist that makes this timeline even more disturbing. Wait until you hear this part. By the time Kayla filed that report on Sunday, Alice's body had already been discovered a day earlier on Saturday, and let that sink in. While her roommate was preparing to report her missing, Alice had already been found lifeless in a forest. On Saturday morning in Barkowino, a location near Bondo township in Siaya County, it's an area where local residents go about their daily routines, where women venture into forested areas to collect firewood. And on this particular Saturday, a group of women were doing exactly that, gathering firewood, minding their business, probably chatting as they worked. And then they saw something that would haunt them forever.
News Justin, the body of a second-year student at the Jaramogi Odinga University of Science and Technology went missing last week has been found dumped in a forest in the Barkowino area of Bondo in Siaya County. Alice Rianga, who was pursuing a bachelor's degree in education at the institution, is said to have gone missing last Thursday.
A body, particularly concealed in the forest. The women immediately recognized this was not an animal. This was not debris. This was a human being.
Don't know this. Now let's look at the next picture. This image nimepata yenye nimetuma kutoka huko. Alice alikatwa nywele. It was like a ritual somehow looking like that, amekatwa nywele, a ritual. Does not make sense, like a ritual. I don't know what kind of life maybe she got herself into. We never spoke, something like that. But kwa mse anaangalia vitu, some things make sense to me. Let it make sense to you. And the question is, who is this guy? Salvo guy. Who is this Salvo guy? Bro, I don't know who you are. I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. But who are you? Were you his friend or boyfriend, or who are you? Maybe you were friends, I don't know. That's your life with her when she was alive. Joe. His dad name is Richard Rianga. That's my uncle. Mzee alizirai akaingia OC. Yenye aliconfirm hiyo body leo. So I'll be updating you guys with this situation. But I want to know who is this Salvo guy, because this looks like a ritual farmed. And if it's a ritual, the thing is, we are not dumb. I'm so much invested to follow these men. I'm telling you, I'll be updating you guys. My name is Jesse Omweri, Kuzo wa Alice Rianga.
They alerted the local authorities right away, and police from Bondo sub-county responded to the scene. What they found confirmed their worst fears. The body was that of a young woman, and based on the clothing, the physical description, the location, investigators began to suspect that this was the missing JOOUST student. Alice Rianga had been found, but this discovery raised more questions than it answered. What was Alice doing in a forest in Barkowino? How did she get there? And most critically, who was responsible? The location itself is significant. Barkowino is in Bondo Township, which is in the same general area as JOOUST, but a forested area isn't somewhere a student would casually wander. This was not an accident. This was not a case of getting lost. The police knew immediately they were looking at a suspected unaliving, and the investigation that followed will lead them to an unexpected suspect. Within days of discovering Alice's body, police in Bondo sub-county made an arrest. The suspect, a man named Maximillian John Madeni, not a fellow student, not a local resident, but a Tanzanian national identified as a gold dealer. Police Commandant Robert Aboki, the officer in charge of Bondo sub-county, confirmed the arrest publicly. Now, let us pause here because this is where the case takes on international dimension. A Tanzanian gold digger arrested in connection with a suspected murder of a Kenyan university student. Let us pause here because this is where the case takes on. What was the connection between Alice and this man? How did their paths cross? What circumstances brought a second-year education science student into contact with a foreign gold digger? These are the questions investigators are working to answer. According to sources, police believe there was some form of interaction or relationship between Alice and Madeni. The exact nature of that connection, whether it was brief or extended, consensual or coerced, remains under investigation. What we do know is this: authorities felt they had sufficient evidence to make an arrest, but that is not all. Wait until you see what happened next because the investigation didn't stop with the arrest. Forensic teams, witness interviews, digital evidence, all of it was being compiled. The Directorate of Criminal Investigation is involved, and this is not being treated as a simple case. This is a suspected unaliving of a university student, and the pressure for justice is immense. As of now, the investigation into Alice Rianga's death is active and ongoing. Police Commandant Robert Aboki has stated that investigators are pursuing multiple lines of inquiry. They are examining Alice's phone records. They are interviewing witnesses. They are reconstructing her final moments. And forensic pathologists are conducting a post-mortem examination to determine the exact cause of death, and will the autopsy provide critical answers. Toxicology reports will reveal if any substances were in her system, and these could indicate poisoning or other factors that might explain how she ended up in that forest. One of the most crucial aspects of the investigation is establishing a timeline. When exactly did Alice die? Was it on Wednesday, the day that she left the hostel? Thursday, when she was last reportedly seen, or sometime after? The condition of her body when discovered, the state of decomposition, the environmental factors, all of these will help forensics experts narrow down the time of death. But here is another critical element: the location. Why Barkowino? Was Alice unalived there, or was her body transported to that forest? If she was moved, that suggests premeditation, planning, an attempt to conceal the crime. Every piece of evidence, every witness statement, every forensic finding, it all builds towards one goal: justice for Alice Rianga. The news of Alice's death has sent shockwaves through JOOUST campus. Students, many of whom knew Alice personally, are devastated. Social media has been flooded with tributes, hashtags demanding justice, calls for enhanced security, because here is the uncomfortable truth that this case exposes. University students, particularly young women, face very real danger, and not just from strangers lurking in the shadows. Sometimes the threat comes from people who seem trustworthy, people who integrate into student circles, people who exploit the vulnerability of young people far from home. The JOOUST administration has yet to release an official comprehensive statement, but sources indicate that the university is cooperating fully with the police investigation. The hostel where Alice lived, where her roommate Kayla last saw her, has become a somber reminder of how quickly life can change. One day you're sharing a room, making plans, living your normal life. The next, you're filing a missing person report for someone who has already been found unalived. The investigation into Alice Rianga's death continues. Maximillian John Madeni remains in police custody. Forensics examinations are ongoing. Witnesses are being interviewed, and evidence is being compiled. The question that haunts everyone who hears this story is simple yet profound. Why? Why Alice? Why did this happen? What chain of events led a promising 20-year-old education science student to a forest in Barkowino? But some questions may never have satisfying answers, because senseless violence, the taking of innocent life, defies logic, defies reason. What we can do, what we must do, is remember Alice Rianga, not just as a victim, not just as a statistic, but as a person, a student, a daughter, a friend, someone with dreams of becoming a teacher. Her life mattered, her dreams mattered, and her loss matters. Please share this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, subscribe to stay updated as this case develops. Justice for Alice Rianga, that is what everyone is demanding. And until next time, stay safe. Let's catch up on the next celebrity drama files as we get to know how this story unravels itself.